comes into the school to kind of like showcase all the different instruments, like an instrument petting zoo kind of thing. And he played a little something on every horn. When we got to the saxophone, he played the Simpsons theme, and that was like my jam in 4th grade. So I was like, that's the one.
Mama, I need the new Jordans.
I'm not exactly sure what making it in Nashville means. I imagine it means something different for everybody. I mean, for me personally, the only thing I ever sought out to do was to make a living with music without any other kind of non-musical side hustle associated with my life.
The Jordans I want, I picked the Jordans I want, I put the Jordans on my feet.
As long as I'm not having to supplement my income with anything outside of music and still live comfortably, that's kind of what I was striving for. Yeah, my mom, my brother, and I were all up in Boston, and my mom remarried around the time, I guess I was 13, and the gentleman happened to live in Laverne. I think they met on Christian Mingle or something, some kind of dating website. But so she met him and moved my brother and I down to Tennessee in 2003. At the time I had left Boston, I was involved in some stuff 12, 13-year-old kids probably shouldn't be involved in. You know, a lot of my friends were, you know, kind of going towards the whole gang lifestyle. A lot of friends in drugs. I mean, my best friend growing up was like shot and killed in his front yard over some drug deal gone south. And so I think I left Boston at the perfect time, like 13, real impressionable. I don't like thinking about where my life would have gone if I'd stayed there and not found music here in Nashville. Being 13 and merging families, I mean, that was really tough on me. It was, you know, me and my younger brother, he's about 5.5 years younger than me, you know, and my stepdad had 3 kids of his own. So it was like a really like unhappy Brady Bunch situation going on, and like we all kind of hated each other for the first several years, and you know, the classic stepdad coming in, like taking dad's place. I had some serious beef with that. So it wasn't until I think I was 18, moved out of the house like the day after high school graduation, that relationship started to repair itself. My parents are in finance, and so they always saw me kind of being in business or being in marketing or being in banking like they were. And so when I did the black sheep thing and went way off the rails towards something else, my dad was like the most supportive of all of that. But he's done a lot for me in the way of, you know, being really supportive of music when no one else really was. It was actually a really fantastic day. You know, we got to Vegas, you know, 9 o'clock in the morning, I think. We worked out that morning, and it was one of the best shows we had ever played. I mean, the energy was just incredible. Jason Aldean was about to go on, and typically, if we're not headlining, I like to go and watch the headliner from the front of house. And so I was standing there, Front of the stage, house left, stage right. When I was watching probably 6, 7 songs into Aldean's set, we heard something that sounded like fireworks. And some people kind of like looked around like, oh, someone's trolling Aldean's show. That really sucks, but haha, whatever. And then the second volley of fireworks went off, and there's 2 police officers standing in front of me that both immediately drew their guns and took off running towards the sound. And that's kind of when I realized that this might be something else. And then it just ran out continuously. And people started getting down, people were screaming, running. There was no exit where I was. There wasn't any kind of way to get out in the corner of the arena that I was in. So what I ended up doing is hiding behind the concession stands for a little bit. Like a narrow hallway kind of thing between the concessions and the fence that separated the backstage from where the general public were. There was like open ovens back there where people were cooking food, and people started to kind of like stampede, and people were getting trampled, and people were getting burned on the ovens, and some people were trying to just like climb over fences, but the fences were like 12 feet high, so they were climbing and falling and not able to get out. And fortunately, we found some kind of makeshift ladder that we leaned up against the exterior fence, and we were climbing people over one by one and having them jump down on the other side to be caught by people that were standing on the other side of the fence. Once we got out, we took off running towards the tour buses, which were in a separate parking lot across the street. Very, very fortunate to still be here. In retrospect, it's pretty incredible that I'm still here, given where the shooter was, and our bus was completely broadside to that window. And he just never decided to shoot at the bus. He never decided to shoot at the people going over on the ladder. You know, he'd been there all day. At any point of the day, we could have been in his crosshairs. You know, out on the stage. When he chose to do what he did, and why is I don't know. Emotionally, I'm better. First 2 days home were really, really difficult, really overwhelming. You know, that I would, stop doing something for too long, and my mind would wander, and I would just start crying. You know, just overwhelmed by, the events that happened and the incredible, just outpouring of concern from my friends and family. There's still some triggers that are lingering that will probably be there for who knows how long. But all in all, I would say I am remarkably okay. Listening to music can be an escape from whatever it is I'm going through at the time. Or take me back to a happier time. And performing music can be really cathartic for me as well. You know, the first gig I had after Vegas was with the Greg Bryant expansion at Rudy's, and I felt like all the stuff that I'd gone through that weekend just kind of came out that night, and it really was really helpful to help me process all of that. And that's kind of the power music has, at least in my life.
Deep calls too deep, a chance to sift through.
I've been told I'm overwhelmingly positive kind of person, like really optimistic. I mean, I have an opportunity to make a living blowing through a twisted hunk of metal, and that is just a beautiful thing. Like, there's not much to really be upset about.